Hello beautiful learners, hopefully you're doing great, and I'm also good by the grace of Almighty. So it's our day 27, and in this lesson we are going to practice IELTS listening practice test with answers and proper explanation. Okay, before going to start our class, I just need some inquiry regarding whether you can hear me and as well as the audio track. Okay, so just give me a few seconds to check out the sound quality, then I'll start it.
You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now turn to Section 1. Section 1. You will hear a telephone conversation between a customer and an overseas shipping agent. First, you have some time to look at questions 1. To Section 1.
I hope you can hear me and as well as the audio track. So okay, it's good enough to hear me. Just give me, I need a few more sec to check. Okay, let's listen the instruction again. Okay.
You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now turn to Section.
Okay, so I hope you got the instruction as he was saying. Okay, now here's another instruction for us. Let's read it. Okay, no more than 3 words enter a number for each answer. Okay, just go ahead and let's highlight some keyword for this question number 1. Okay, here we have to listen the name. Let's highlight this one, name, and maybe it's his first name, and okay, we have to listen it for just maybe his last name or surname, whatever you think. Let's listen it. Okay,
you will hear a telephone conversation and answer questions 1.
Shipping. How can I be of service?
Well, I wish to inquire about sending a container of personal items from the UK to Ireland.
No problem. Would you like me to give you an estimate of the cost?
Yes, please.
Well, first of all, may I take your details?
Of course. My name's Tim Lafferty.
Could you spell your surname for me, please, Tim?
Yes, it's Lafferty. Lafferty.
Thank you, Tim.
okay, so I hope you got the answer, as he was saying, LAFFERTY, as he was saying, it's his last surname. Okay, now let's move on to the next one, and let's highlight some keyword for this question. Okay, address to be collected from, addressed blah blah university. Okay, let's highlight this one. Let's play the audio and let's listen it.
Now, where would you like us to pick your container up from?
My university, if possible.
Okay, let me make a note of the address.
It's Abbeyfield University.
Is that ABBEYFIELD?
That's right. Park Street, Brighton.
Perfect.
Okay, she was saying ABBEYFIELD. Okay, that's what the answer would be. Abbey Field. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Town. Okay, first code. Let's highlight and let's listen it.
And may I take down your postcode too?
It's BR8 9P3.
Great. Thank you, Tim. Have you the container's measurements?
I do.
Okay, as he was saying, it's BR8 93P 9P3. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Okay, here we can see maybe it's size of container. Okay, size of container. Let's highlight this one. Length is 2.5 millimeter and width is 4 and depth is 5. Okay, now let's so this is the these are the keyword for this question, size of container. Okay, now let's listen it and let's play the audio. Check.
It's approximately 2.5 meters long by 1.25 meters wide.
I see. Quite a big one then.
Indeed.
Okay, so he was saying it's the lady was asking that have you the containers measurement, and the man was saying I do. It approximately 2.5 meters long by 1.25 meters width. Okay, so the answer we should write here is 1.25 meter. Okay, as it's on the size of container. Okay, now let's move on to listen question number 5. Okay,
Meters wide.
I see. Quite a big one then.
Indeed.
And the height?
I make it 1 meter and 20 centimeters deep.
I make it a meter. A meter means 1 meter. 1 meter. And he was saying I make it 1 meter and 20 centimeter deep. So 20 means you can write just here like this, 20 meter, or after the radix point the value of 0 is useless, so we can just write 1.2 meter. Okay, now contents book, let's listen it.
So that's 2.5 by 1.25 by 1.2.
Right.
And what will actually be in the box, Tim?
Oh, mostly old uni books.
Okay.
And some music albums.
Anything?
Some musical album, so the answer will be musical album. Music album. Albums. Okay, let's listen for the next one.
Okay.
And some music albums.
Anything else?
Yes, a little bit of stationery.
I see.
Okay, stationery. So stationery would be the answer. Okay, let's listen for the question number 8. Total estimated value in pound. Okay, here we can see it's pound sign. Let's listen it.
And could you put an estimate on the value of the items?
The books are quite valuable. They're worth around £1,800. The music albums, maybe half that, say £900. And you can put the stationery down as £300.
Okay, as he was saying, they're worth around 80 pound, 18,000 pound, 1,800 pounds. The music albums maybe half that, say 900 pound, and you can out the stationery down as 300. And in the question we can say the total estimated value. So total estimated value, if we just like 1,800 plus 900, it means like 2,000 and 2,700. Then if we add plus 300, then it would be 3,000 pound. So we just 3,000, we just need to write 3,000 pound. Okay, don't be confused with the single one. You have to sum each answer. Okay, but they didn't mention the total amount, but we have to sum by listening each of the single value. Okay, that's why the answer would be 3,000. If we sum all of them, we get 3,000 pound. Okay, let's move on to the next one. What is the minimum recommended cover by delivered? What is the minimum recommended cover by delivered? Minimum recommended cover by delivered. Let's premium, standard, economic. Let's listen it.
The recording for 30 seconds.
Now listen and answer questions 9 and 10.
Okay. And will you be purchasing contents cover from us also?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Sorry, let me explain. Because your items are worth more than £2,000, we recommend that you purchase insurance to cover yourself in the event of damage or loss.
Makes sense. What are my options?
Well, we offer 3 insurance deals: the premium rate, standard rate, and economy rate ones. Premium offers full cover in the event of loss, damage, or theft, which means you would be provided with the full cost of replacing your belongings.
What about standard and economy?
Standard will give you today's value, the second-hand value of your belongings, and economy provides you with a fixed payment of £1,000 in the event of loss, damage, or theft.
Well, I can afford to live without those books, to be honest. So just give me the cheapest option.
We recommend standard cover for all our customers.
No, thank you.
Okay. So she's saying we recommend standard cover for all our customers. Okay, so that's mean the answer would be option B, as she was saying. Okay, let's move on to the next one. What does the customer want the goods the agency? Where does customer, okay, let me highlight the keywords for this question. Where customer want the good agency? Port, home, business. Let's listen it.
That won't be necessary. The cheapest option will be fine.
No problem. And one last thing, will you be needing delivery at your office, at your house, or do you intend to pick up your container at the port?
Home delivery would suit me best, I think.
We'll get that process.
Okay, as he was saying, home delivery would suit me best, I think. So that's what the answer would be, home. So that's all about part 1. Let's jump into part 2. So here's the another instruction for us. No more than 3 words for each answer. Okay. So let's zoom out this one because we need to. Okay, let's read this. So here we can see it's like what should I say, place number 14, 13, 15, 11, 12. Okay, in 11 we can see it's a ticket center, and this one is entrance. Okay, but okay, let's zoom out this one. I need to a little bit zoom. Okay, let's listen.
Questions 11 to 15.
Well, we certainly have a busy day ahead of us, so let's get started, shall we? You'll find a map of the museum with the itinerary I've just handed out. The museum's our first port of call, so let's have a look at the map now. The door on the right of the entrance hall leads into the gift shop and ticket centre.
Gift shop. Okay, so she was saying the door on the right of the entrance halls. This one is entrance halls. Leads into the gift shop and ticket center. So here we can see it's a ticket center and gift shop. So 11 would be gift shop. So we can write here just gift shop. Okay, gift shop. Now let's move on to the next one. Okay,
once we pick up our entrance tickets, I'd ask everyone to deposit their bags and coats in the cloakroom, which is located towards the back of the gift shop and ticket centre. If you want to pick up an information leaflet, you can approach the information desk situated along the right-hand side. Now, once you come back into the entrance hall, the door on the opposite side to the gift shop leads into the art gallery. There is a special exhibition on.
So this one is art gallery, as she was saying. Now she was saying the door on the opposite side to the gift shop. So the door, so this is the door, this is the door. Okay, this is the door, and she was saying the door on the opposite side to gift shop. The opposite side of gift shop is this one. gift shop leads into the art gallery. So 12 would be art gallery. Okay, now let's move on
there at the moment, which is not to be missed. If you continue on up the entrance hallway, that leads into the main exhibition centre.
Okay, she was saying if you continue on up like this, on the center, on the entrance hallway, and that leads into the main exhibition center. So 13 would be main exhibition center. Main exhibition. Oh no. Exhibition center. Exhibition center. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one.
At the back left-hand side, there are some toilets. Beside the toilets, you'll find the 3D theatre.
Okay, she was saying at the back left. So at the back left, this one is, as she was saying, at the back left hand side there are some toilets. So these are some toilets. Beside the toilets you will find the 3D theaters. So 14 would be theaters, 3D theaters. Okay, 3D theaters, Theatre, theater. Now let's listen it for question number 15.
Strongly recommend that you make time for the 30-minute presentation in the theatre. It is well worth a viewing. Running along the right-hand side of the main exhibition centre is the Modern Art Studio.
Okay, she was saying running along the right side, like this one. Just look at my cursor. Okay, she was saying running along the right hand side. So right hand side this way of the main exhibition center. So this one is main exhibition center. Main exhibition center is the Modern Art Studio. So this one is Modern Art Studio. So in 15 we need to write modern art studio. Okay. Let's zoom in this one. Okay, now what does the tour guide tell her tour group about each of the following place on a day's journey? What does the tour guide tell her tour group about each of the following places on the day's journey? Write the correct letter A, B or C next to question number 16 to 20 below. Okay, they will definitely go there. They might do that if time allows. They certainly won't go there. You may choose any letter more than once. Okay, so let's read them. The aquarium, Solim Country Club, and Milton Winery, the zoological garden, the Stott brewery. Okay, so let's listen.
Here, not only can you
Now listen and answer questions 16 to 20.
Next on the itinerary is the aquarium. Depending on how long we spend at the museum, we might have to give this one a miss. It's
Okay, she was saying next on the library itinerary is the aquarium. Depending on how long we spend at the museum, we might have to give this one miss. So I think option B would be the answer, because they might off their if time allows. So it time as he was saying how long we spent at the museum, so we might have to give this one miss.
not what I'd call a highlight of the day, but it would be a shame if we didn't get to see it, as it's en route to the Solheim Country Club, where we're booked in for lunch at 1 o'clock. Originally, we had...
Okay, she was saying, as it's en route to the Solheim Country Club, where we booked in for lunch. So here, definitely go there. That means they will go there. So option A would be the answer. Okay, and Milton Winery. Let's listen.
I'd planned to stop off at the Milltown Winery afterwards, but we've had to scrap that plan. Otherwise, we'd never...
Okay, she was saying we have to scrap that plan. So what do you think we should select? They certainly won't go there. It's similar to, like as she was saying, we have had to scrap their plan. Maybe it's like they will change their plan. Okay, that's why it's like they will not go there. So option C would be the answer. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 19.
Never get to the zoological gardens before closing time. We have pre-booked the gardens and must be there by 2:30. So...
Okay, she was saying we have pre-booked the garden and must be there by 2:30. So that means they will definitely go there. So option A would be the answer. Okay, as she was saying, we have pre-booked the garden and must be there by 2:30. That's mean they will go there, obviously. Okay, that's why I chose option A. Okay, let's move on to listen it for question number 20. Okay.
Oh, no dilly-dallying please after lunch. Straight back onto the bus. The gardens close at 3:30, so we've an hour there, which should give us ample time to look around. Time allowing, we'll stop off at the famous Stout Brewery after that, if traffic isn't too heavy, and we're in Lincoln before 5.
Okay, she was saying, time allowing, we will stop off at the famous Stout Brewery after that, if traffic is not too heavy. So that means they might go there if the time allows. So it's like uncertainty. So that's why the option we should select is B. Okay, so it's maybe a problem with the typing mistake. It would be go. Okay, they might go there. So this is a typing mistake. This word would be go, G-O. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, that's all about part 2. Now let's jump into part 3. Okay, so here is the another instruction for us. No more than 2 words for each answer. Let's highlight some code for this question. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit, not too much. Okay, found in many consumer. Okay, gyroscopes are used in laser devices and are found in many consumer blah blah. Let's listen it.
Now listen carefully. So, have you chosen a product yet?
I think so. We'd like to build a gyroscopic exercise aid.
Sounds interesting. Tell me more.
Well, we did some research and were amazed to discover the sheer range of applications for gyroscopic technology. Gyroscopes are used in laser and optical devices and can be found in many consumer appliances too.
Many consumer appliances too. So appliances would be the answer. Appliances, okay, would be the answer. That's I already wrote appliance. Okay, now let's move on to the next one and highlight some code for this question. The purpose of the project is to design a functional blah blah and botanical product. Let's listen it.
Right. Tell me about this product specifically, though. The aim of the assignment is to create something practical, functional, and beneficial for consumers. Justify.
So she was saying practical, functional, and beneficial for consumer. So here we can see functional and beneficial are on the screen, but it's missing of practical. So practical would be the answer. Okay, practical would be the answer. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Let's highlight keyword for this question. Okay, the gyroscopic ball can be set in motion by movement of blah blah and wrist together in sense. Let's listen it.
By your decision.
Well, we believe we can design and build a cheap and effective muscle strengthening aid by taking advantage of the inertial forces created by a gyroscope.
Yes. What we want to do is design a ball which can be held in the palm. Within the ball, there will be a simple gyroscope. This gyroscope can be set in motion by movement of the lower arm and wrist.
Lower arm and wrist. So the answer would be lower arm. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, the gyroscopic ball could help people in blah blah who have lower arm injuries. Okay, let's listen it.
Together in sync. The device will not require any external power source because it will be sustained by the movement of the arm and wrist. This will create considerable resistance and an excellent lower arm strengthening aid. It will be simple to design and cheap to produce, yet extremely effective.
This all sounds very good. I'm impressed.
Thanks, Mark. We're glad you like it. I think we're really onto something here. Our research has told us there's nothing comparable in the market and that a product like this would have multiple uses. Not only could it be used as an everyday toning and exercise device, it could also be beneficial to people in rehabilitation who have suffered.
People in rehabilitation. So the answer would be rehabilitation. Okay, now let's listen for question number 25. The product could also be aimed at blah blah for whom lower strength. Okay,
Suffered serious lower arm injuries. We see the product being marketed towards high-performance athletes, like tennis and golf players, for whom lower arm strength is vital too.
okay, high performance athletes would be the answer. High performance athletes. Let me explain it to you. High performance athletes. Okay, let me explain it to you. As she was saying, we see the product being marketed towards high performance athletes like trainees and golf players. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Here is another instruction for us: no more than 3 words and a number for each answer. Okay, here we can see it's prototype, design and testing here. Okay, so and here we can see estimated cost 3,000 and testing cost. We need to listen it. Let's listen it.
Humans are very bad listeners. We remember less than 25% of what is said and place far more emphasis on how it is said. Last of all, be realistic and give yourself a chance. No one becomes the perfect speaker overnight. It takes time to hone your presentation skills. That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Pause the
Humans are very bad listeners. We remember less than 25
Optical devices and can be found in many consumer appliances too.
If the assignment is to create something practical, functional.
We believe we could, by taking advantage.
What we want to do will be a simple lower arm power source. It will be.
This all sounds very good. I'm impressed.
Thanks, Mark. We're glad you like it. Nothing comparable in the market, and that a product like this would have multiple uses. Could also injuries, tennis and golf play.
26 to 30. Now listen and answer
Enough to give your project the go-ahead. Now, let's talk costs.
Right. Well, we estimate that around £3,000 will be required for product development.
You mean to build the prototype?
Exactly. And we'll need half that again to carry out some product testing.
And what's your...
Okay, and she was saying, and we'll need half of that again to carry out some products. So half of that is 1,500. Okay, 500 pounds. Okay, let's move to the next one. Number of weeks. Okay, let's listen it.
Your timeline for the project?
The prototype should be ready a fortnight after work on the design starts, and we'll need another 6 weeks for testing.
We want to.
Okay, she was saying the prototype should be ready a fortnight after work on the design start. So she was saying the prototype should be ready a fortnight after work on the design, and we will need another 6 weeks for testing. So I don't think she said the answer will need. She said a prototype should be ready a fortnight after work on the design start. Fortnight after. Okay, so a night and after work on the design. That means, okay, we are out of time. Let's submit it and let's start it again. So I just need to re-click each answer one more time because we are out of time. Okay, just give me a few sec to re-click each answer one more time. Okay. Okay, it was 3D. Okay, it was 3D. Theater and studio. Okay, it was B, we need to select B. It was A, we need to select A. It's C, we need to select C again. It's A, we need to select A again. It's B, we need to select B again. Let's, okay. So that means, as she was saying, the prototype should be ready for night after work on the design. So for night after work. So I think it's a little bit tricky to get the answer. Let's skip this one, okay? And let's listen it for question number.
Arm. Within the ball,
28.
there will be a simple gyroscope.
Impressed.
Thanks, Mark. We're headed towards high-performance
Need half that again to carry out some product testing.
And what's your timeline for the...
line starts, and we'll need another 6 weeks for testing.
We want to enlist the help of 15 people to test the prototype.
Okay, let's highlight keyword for this question: number of test subject, blah blah. Okay.
We want to
Line starts, and we'll need another 6 weeks for testing.
We want to enlist the help of 15 people to test the prototype. Ideally, we want...
Okay, she was saying we want to enlist the help of 15 people to test the prototype. So 15 would be the answer. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, here it's a breakdown of test subject. 5 professional. Let's listen it for question number 5. 5 professional athletes and 5 blah blah something and blah blah. Okay, let's listen for question number 29 and 30.
5 professional athletes to try it out, 5 recovery patients, and
5 recovery patients. So 5 recovery patient would be the answer. Recovery patients. Okay, 5 recovery patients, and she was saying something like
professional athletes to try it out, 5 recovery patients, and the remainder of the subjects will be gym members.
gym member would be the answer. Okay. Yes, gym members would be the answer. let's listen. Okay, that's all about our part 3. Let's jump into part 4, and here we have to choose the correct letter A, B or C. Okay, speaker have to know, speakers have to know blah blah their mentals, or their materials, their audience, their limitations.
Our 3 target
Certainly made a good start.
That is the end of...
Pause the recording for 30 seconds.
Now turn to section 4. Section 4. You will hear part of a lecture about public speaking. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
Pause the recording.
To questions 31 to 40. It is only natural to feel somewhat nervous before giving a speech, and while a few nerves never did any harm, and can in fact prove beneficial, letting your nerves overcome you can be detrimental. Today's presentation will focus on ways to control those butterflies and help you to give better presentations in future. First and foremost, you've got to know your material. I can't stress that enough. If you fail to prepare...
So, their material will be the answer, because she's saying you know, first and foremost, you have got to know your materials. So material would be the answer. Okay, option A would be the answer. That's what I already choose. Okay, now experienced speakers. Let's highlight this one. Experienced speakers allows try to wing it, never arrive unprepared, give the best presentations. Let's listen it.
You might as well prepare to fail. Even the most experienced speakers never turn up unprepared and never try to wing it. Personalize your subject and use humor.
Okay, he was saying even the most experienced speaker never turn off unprepared. Turn up unprepared and never try to win it. So the option would be, the answer would be option B, because it's they try to, if the answer this option would be like always try not to win it, so at that case it would be the option A. But he was saying then even the most experienced speaker never turn off unprepared. So never turn off unprepared would be similar with never arrive unprepared. Okay, now let's listen in for question number 33. You should always rehear with friends who can advise you with all the equipment you plan on using more than once. Let's listen it. You should always rehearse.
Anecdotes and conversational language. This will make it easier for you to remember what you want to say. Secondly, practice, practice, practice. Rehearse well in advance, and preferably out loud, and with all the equipment you plan on using. Practice your timing, when to pause and when to breathe.
Okay, he was saying secondly, practice. Rehearse well in advance and preferably outland, and with all the equipment you plan on using. So option B would be the answer. Okay, now let's listen for question number 34. It is a good idea to be discreet with your audience, meet your fans Meet and welcome your audience. Let's listen it.
And prepare for the unexpected. Something always goes wrong, especially when you're relying on technology. So always have a backup plan. Get to know your audience before you have to stand up in front of them. Meet and greet them on the way in, perhaps.
Meet and greet. So meet and greet means welcome your audience. So option C would be the answer for question number 34. Okay, now let's listen for question number 35. Taking a few deep breaths before you begin, okay, will stop you having a panic attack, will guarantee that you feel more relaxed, will help turn your tension into enthusiasm. Okay, let's listen. Taking a few deep breaths before you begin.
It is much easier to talk to a group of friends than a group of strangers. And, just as importantly, know your room as well. Arrive early, pace the speaking area, and practice using the microphone and visual aids. The hardest part is trying to relax. Never rush straight into your speech. Begin slowly and address the audience first. In fact, even before you start, take a few deep breaths. You know, 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. This will turn your nervous energy into enthusiasm.
Okay, the answer option C, because he was saying before you start, take a few deep breaths. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. This will turn your nervous energy into enthusiasm. Will help turn your tension into enthusiasm. So this one is similar to as he was saying. Okay, that's the answer of the option C. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, here's another instruction for us. No more than two words and a number for each answer. Okay, useful tips for successful presentation. Try to blah blah yourself making a speech and imagine your voice loud and confident. Let's highlight and let's listen it.
Visualization can be a great confidence booster. Visualize yourself making the speech in the way that you intend. Imagine your voice loud and confident, and picture the audience.
Okay, he was saying the answer will be visualize. Okay, visualize. Let me explain it to you what I wrote. Visualize. Okay, as he was saying, visualization can be a great confident booster. Visualize yourself making the speech in the way that you intended. So try to visualize. Okay, with the answer. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Even if you make mistake, avoid making. If you make mistake, avoid making blah blah, like
Clapping and rooting for you. Remember, people want you to succeed. The audience wants to hear an interesting and insightful speech. They aren't hoping you make a fool of yourself. Whatever you do, avoid making unnecessary apologies. If you
avoid making unnecessary apologies. So apologies would be the answer. Apologies would be the answer. Okay, now let's listen for question number 38. Pay attention to you blah blah. Your words carry less meaning than your delivery. Let's listen it.
If you make a mistake or two, forget about it. Few will notice, and it will all be forgotten before too long. People often forget the importance of body language.
Okay, so The answer would be body language. Okay, let me explain to you why I wrote body language here, because he was saying people often forget the importance of body language. Okay, so now let's listen for question number 39. People usually remember less than blah blah of what they hear.
Don't underestimate this. Your words carry far less meaning than your delivery. Success is defined by your intonation and confidence. If you come across as a confident person, people will listen to you. You will command their attention. Stand tall and proud and deliver with conviction. Humans are very bad listeners. We remember less than 25% of what is said and place far more emphasis on how it is said.
Okay, so 25% will be the answer. 25%. Let me explain to you. As he was saying, humans are very bad listener. We remember less than 50% of what is said. So 50% would be the answer. Okay, now let's listen for question number 40 and the last one. Be blah blah about yourself. You don't become a perfect speaker overnight. Okay, let's listen to it.
Last of all, be realistic and give yourself a chance. No one becomes the perfect speaker.
Be realistic. So realistic would be the answer. Realistic would be the answer. Okay, so that's all about our today's lesson. Let's submit it and check out how much we scored. Okay, we got 8.5 out of 9, but let me check what I got mistake. Here is no mistake yet, but okay, in 27 the answer would be 2. I don't know how it can be 2. Okay, let's check what we have mistake. Okay, we got right answer like 38 out of 40. So here maybe there are another mistake, but you can't see it yet. I don't know where is another mistake. It's really interesting. I can't see another mistake. Okay, don't worry. See you in the next class and we'll meet again with another IELTS listening practice test. So see you tomorrow with another lessons. So bye.